Good evening all. Well, afternoon maybe. 5 o'clock here. Morning, wherever you are. Nighttime, evening, wherever you are, and or afternoon. Hello to everyone. Hope you're all well. Got a bit of a calling show going on today. So I think Mark's pinned the link to the top of the chat. If you want to call in, by all means do so. It's pinned at the top of the chat, I do believe. Yeah, another debacle on Sunday, another loss, another week closer to relegation. The only thing that saved us this week is Forest and West Ham both losing. So they haven't gained any ground on us by us losing, which is a good thing, I suppose. But it just makes it all a bit more difficult for us, to be honest. And as the hashtag says at the bottom, we are bang in trouble. Bang in trouble. But it is what it is, unfortunately. I think the sheriff will be on in a bit after he's had his tea, maybe. And we'll go from there, obviously. Listen, look, you're more than welcome to ring in, any of you. As always, hit the link and we'll go from there. Let's see who's in. There's the link there, and it is pinned at the top. So, like I say, you're more than welcome. Jump on, give us your thoughts about the Fulham game. Where do we go from here? What would you like seen done? Team-wise, is Igor picking the right team? Probably not. Square pegs, round holes, and all that business. And that with Gray stuck. Well, Gray played about 3 different positions. So yeah, it's just difficult at the moment, and we just thought we'd give you the chance to come on and have your say and see how you feel about it, really. Because like I say, it's another week that's gone past, and we're no better off, unfortunately. Makes it very difficult. Well, we'll say a few hellos. Big up to you, Scott. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well this evening. Yeah, no problem, Marcus. Marcus, if we're running, we're more than well. You're more than welcome. Links at the top. You can click on that to join in. Join in the conversation. Big up to you, Marcus. Big up to you, Scott. Big up to Jimmy. Hope you're well, Jim. Whereabouts in Tenerife did you go, Jim, by the way? Just asking for the missus. You know what I mean? Hello, Mark. Mr. Taylor, how are you?
Hello, Mark. Are we well?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. I'm not too bad. My head's still spinning, mate, to be honest with you.
Did you manage to get some sleep finally?
Not really, Mark.
Oh.
No, I didn't. No, I've been up all day. Been up the allotment, and I'll sleep all right tonight, mate.
Oh, good.
I won't be up late tonight, Mark. I'll be a bit of tea later on. Be chilling, and there won't be no internet tonight. I'll tell you, I'm having a night off after we've finished.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you.
And we'll hit it again in the morning. Good afternoon, Anthony. How are you, mate?
Well, where do we start?
And we haven't yet.
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. Just same old usual. Tottenham rubbish, but yeah. Apart from that, I'm good. How about yourself, gentlemen? You both all right?
Good, thank you. Good.
Yeah, man, I'm all good. I'm all good. A bit disappointed about yesterday. I don't know if disappointed is the right word. You almost come to expect it now with Tottenham. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're just used to losing, aren't we? So
yeah, I think that's finish the show. I think you've just hit the nail on the head, mate. Really, to be fair, aren't you? I mean, I'll come over to you two lads. To me, I thought we was awful again. To be honest with you, it lifted a bit in the second half when he brought the subs on. There was a bit more, maybe, I don't know if effort's the right word.
Well, I'll put my hands up, yeah, and say,
on, mate.
as soon as the second goal went in, I was so frustrated. I turned off. I was like, I can't watch the rest. I know we're not going to come back.
Yeah, and that says it all, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And even after Richarlison scored, it's not as if we bashed the back door down, is it, to get the equaliser or anything like that? I think we had a couple of chances. Sarr had a chance right at the end, didn't he? And there was a few odds and sods, but there was, it's not as if we ripped the backside out of them, is it, to try and get the equaliser? But listen, it is what it is. We've lost again. We've got to move on to Thursday. That's why I thought we'd do this call in tonight. And then if anyone wants to come on and get everything off their chest, and we can move on to Crystal Palace like later on in the week on Thursday. So, Anthony, tell us, or Mark, tell us from your point of view what you saw yesterday, what you think was wrong with it, if you like, and so on. Just have your say, chaps.
Well, I'll go first.
Yeah, so.
Sorry, I don't think I've ever seen Porro play right centre back in a 3, so that would be my first alarming point, and also playing Gallagher as a sort of wing back. So there'd be the first couple of points I think he's going to have to change. I think we're just going to have to go to a back 4 and suck it up. I think we're going to have to just play the young boy Souza, a left footer on the left side, and Simmons in the middle. That's the first 2 I would change. I'd put Richie alongside Solanke, who I don't care, because I think Mwani needs to just be gone, completely gone. But yeah, they're the first 2 things I would do. I'm not saying it's going to make any difference, but you've got to try something. So I'd definitely go to a back 4 this time, and hopefully get Danso in there instead of Dragusin.
Well, yeah, there is that. There is that. Anthony, your thoughts briefly?
Well, I was a bit confused at first when I saw the lineup, because when I saw on Sky, the lineup said we was 3 at the back with Palhinha as at the back, number in the 3, but then it actually showed Porro. To be honest, I'm done with those players. I think they're an absolute disgrace. I think a lot of them are, and whether we stay up or go down, I don't care who goes in the summer. They can just all go. I don't think Tudor's much different than Frank, really. We all wanted Frank out, and I think we're playing exactly the same way under Tudor. And also, can I tell you, like, obviously Mwani's an absolute disgrace. You can tell he doesn't want to be at Spurs. And Richarlison he has all his faults, but at least he wants to be there, and gives his all. Shows a bit of passion, shows a bit of fight. I mean, I'm not Richarlison's biggest fan, but the one thing that did annoy me is how the hell can Fulham's goal be given at the first goal, but last week Mwani's goal was disallowed for the same thing.
For similar, yeah, it was for similar, Anthony. I don't even know what to say about it, really, Anthony. I don't want to get too caught up in the the referee's the referee's decision. I get what you mean. You know what I mean? Like, for me, the Dragusin one, you could clearly see that he's give him a good shove, whereas the Mwani one looked like he just had his hands rested on his back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you gentlemen have seen the program last night on Sabbath's program, and there was a guy called Chris on it. I think he explained it very well from a referee's point of view, that Mwani was a push, not jumping, rather than thinking he was jumping as he was. It's very technical. The Chris's explanation of what the referee sees and how the rules. So if anybody wants to have a look at that, and it really explains what the referee's point of view in the 2 different situations.
Yeah, but Romero's one against Liverpool, that was jumping, wasn't it? And he got pushed as well on that one.
That's right. If the player jumps and sort of pushes there, you're fine. But Mwani pushed and didn't jump, if you understand what I mean. He wasn't going for the ball. Yeah. That's how he explained it. I'm not saying it's right at all, but that's just how he played. Yeah.
Yeah. I get your point, mate. I get your point. Listen, apart from that, the general thoughts on the overall performance. I mean, it stunk to me, to be quite honest with you. I was expecting. I keep saying effort and desire and whatever else. I don't know what other words to use, to be quite honest with you. I just shocked ain't the right word, because Tottenham can do that, what they did again yesterday. Was there an improvement from the Arsenal game? No. Not for me. I was talking this morning about how far down this road do Tottenham go with Tudor. Do they just stick with him and it's like, it is what it is? We either stay up or we go down, or do you get to the point where, if we get to, say, the Liverpool game, and we've lost the Palace game and we've lost the Liverpool game, that means you'd have lost 4 if that happened. I mean, where do you guys sit on it? Because I think it's a very real thing, that he could either, I've said he might walk, because I don't think he realised how bad it was at Tottenham, to be fair. Yeah, I look at him in his pressers and that, and I look at him on the sideline and I just think, mate, you really didn't realise how bad it was here, did you? Do you know what I mean? And I think maybe it's sinking in a bit now, and I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? I mean, where do you two go with it? Do you just stick with him now because they've made the decision, or does it get to the Liverpool game, and if we haven't got any points and there's 8 games left, does that give someone else a chance to rescue us, if you like? Because at the moment we're being rescued by Forest and West Ham not winning, aren't we?
I think he has to be very honest with some of these players and saying, I know you're not going to be here, but every time you perform like that, your stock goes down. The Real Madrids, the big clubs won't be looking at you if you keep performing like that for Spurs. So give me the rest of the season, then you can go, but your stock will go down. Be honest as you can with the players. These people are playing for their livelihood. Real Madrid and people like that, Liverpool, won't want these players if they perform and play like this. This is a big mental thing. But if they roll their sleeves up, dig in and perform, they might come calling next year. And if they do, sell them. But if not, they've got to play for their future, not only at the next club, at this club.
I've heard a few reports that if Palace sat, Palace is obviously a must-win, isn't it? Really, and I don't trust the board whether they sack Tudor and get someone else in. They might as well get Dave Bassett in. No one's gonna get a tune out of these players.
I mean, I'm like you. I don't trust the board. It wouldn't surprise me if they brought in Ange. Who knows what they're going to do? Nobody knows what they're going to do. Nobody knows. This is the problem. You can't trust them because they've shown throughout the years they just haven't got a bloody clue.
No.
Yeah, we're definitely in dire straits, Mark. There's no doubt about that, mate.
The only way we stay up. Sorry, the only way we stay up is if West Ham and Forest, because they're losing games as well. That's the only way I can see us staying up, because I can't see where a win's coming from.
No,
Mark.
No.
Yeah, Mark. Who would you bring in? Would you bring in an ex-Tottenham player, an ex-Tottenham manager, somebody connected to the club?
I'll go and get Redknapp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't get him in the first place.
I thought they would have gone for him in the first place, to be honest with you, Redknapp.
Yeah,
I know he's getting on. Don't get me wrong, Mark. Do you know what I mean? He's out enjoying his horses and doing whatever he's doing, and he's got no need to come out and say what he did. I'll manage him for nothing. Do you know what I mean? And I think if you've got the right bod next to him, whoever that may be, maybe just Harry knowing about how Tottenham works, trying to speak to players, and you know, if anyone can, I don't know, bum players up, if you like, it is it's Harry, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
I think if he came in and we still went down, then I don't think there's any hope for any of them, to be honest
The
with
very
you.
fact that he said he'd managed for nothing, if that wouldn't inspire a few players to think, well, hang on a minute, there's a guy near 80 years of age who's willing to come out of retirement to manage us. If that doesn't give them a little bit, well, what can I do? You know what I mean? All Harry would have to do is bring in Tim Sherwood, Defoe, but you know, a few ex-Spurs, get a good feeling around the club again, and hopefully just give 2 or 3 wins to get us out of the shit, really.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Hello, Phil. How are you, mate?
Well, Cookie, man, I said to you something like Kermit last week, brother. And this week, look at my voice, mate. I sound really bad, isn't it?
Man. You sound ropey, Phil. You sure you want to be on here talking, mate?
Well, I'm only doing a few minutes on the Cookie. You know how it goes, brother. My voice just broke this morning. Now I just sound like this, innit? Yeah.
Well, go on, Phil. Have your little say, mate. Go on, mate.
First and foremost, what I was going to say, is what did people expect at the start of the season when we didn't come in with a left winger and we didn't come with a ball-playing midfielder? What exactly were you expecting? You're not going to get any balance in the team because wherever you play there, it's not a left winger. So you're playing a round peg in a square hole. And all season we've been saying that. And over again, we've been saying that the managers are basically handicapped. They're compromised with whatever decision they make. Whoever plays there is not a natural position for them. And that's because the hierarchy didn't give them what they needed. And even in the January window, right, whoever the manager was, they still needed that option. So the club failed them again. This is what we call it institutionalized failure. It comes from the top down. And I'm looking at Lange and I'm thinking, what is your directives right now? Because really and truly, he should have been sacked. Because, like I said, most of the positions in the team, when you look at the Spurs playing at left back, why are you playing left back? Because you didn't buy a left back, so you're playing a right back at left back. And it's not just those positions, it's multiple positions on the pitch. Why is Conor Gallagher playing right wing? Because you didn't buy a winger. So how much blame can you put on a manager? I don't blame Igor Tudor at one bit. I stopped caring who the manager is because I looked at it from so many different angles. And the Spurs get relegated, that's on them because really and truly, that's when you look at Bournemouth, for example, right, they sold Semenyo in the January window, and in the same window, they replaced him with a winger. How was Spurs selling a winger and Brendan Johnson a wing option, and you bring in a centre midfielder? What we're doing here? That is grown incompetence.
Yeah. Phil, I agree with you, mate. I don't know what else you can say. It's just throughout the club, Phil, isn't it? It is, mate. And it's not just about the football. I know we talk about that, you know the results and everything else.
But at some point, Cookie, what I always say, at some point, right, you have to look at the whole infrastructure itself, the whole regime itself, and you look at it and you think the money people are overruling the football people. So what is Vinay and Lang's job? What are you here for? If you've been overridden by the people who are the money investors, what's actually your job at Tottenham Hotspurs? What are you there for?
Stealing a living.
Right.
Well, just think Aston Villa and Arsenal have done a lot better since Lander and Vinay have left those clubs, isn't it? So that's saying something, really.
Yeah, because when you look at Bertie, he's got a plan and idea of what even Aston Villa, when you look at Crystal Palace, like I said, Bournemouth, these teams have an idea of what they want to get in the market. Tottenham are just so random. They're random pieces of a puzzle just forced together and just say, look, go on, manager, go and work with that. At some point, that's going to break. And we're seeing the effects of it now. For years here, we hid behind Harry Kane and Son and Gareth Bale before that. You don't have that anymore.
Yeah. Phil, listen, you know, Phil, There's 2.5 years there. If you go after the first 10 games, of when Ange came, after the run wet finished, we've gradually been doing that all the way since then. It was happening before, but for 2.5 years now, we've been going downhill, 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 and then we've got to the point of where we are now, of what it looks like, players that just aren't good enough to be anywhere other than where they are at the club, because literally for 2 years we've been there now.
But Cookie, another thing I'll say is for 2 years we've had 2 years of evidence of these players cracking under pressure. We've seen it in multiple games. Look at Chelsea last year, then for Ange's first season when we lost 4-2. Look at the Liverpool game when we lost 6-3. These players crack under pressure. So I'm looking at them and thinking, your mentality is not there anyway. I question their mentality. A lot of them, there's their ability-wise. And some of them, I should say most of them, is both. Their ability and their mentality has to come into question. Yeah, I agree with that. Any comment from you two chaps about what Phil's saying? I think he's about bang on, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Vinnie Jones was a good footballer, but he had the mentality, didn't he? He made the best of what he got. And I can't see any of these boys having a Vinnie Jones mentality, so I think Vinnie's spot on.
Yeah, so do I. So we've got this game on Thursday. What changes between now and Thursday, if anything? Do you see anything changing on the pitch?
If we obviously if we don't beat Palace, because Palace are not playing well themselves. So if we don't beat Palace, then we deserve to go down, don't we? Really?
And they've got a major injury, haven't they?
To defence, isn't it? Is it defence?
Yeah.
No, they had someone sent off the other day against Man United, the defender, didn't they?
Yeah,
Lacroix.
I like Lacroix. Lacroix is a very good defender. I like Lacroix. I watched Lacroix when he was at Wolfsburg alongside Mickey van der Ven.
I think we have to go ahead. If we go 1-0 down, I think we'll be. It's going to come apart again. So I think we have to score first. I think we have to get that momentum, a feel-good factor. Because I think if they score first, the same thing's going to happen again.
But West Ham playing on? Are they playing Tuesday or Wednesday? So if they win, then that's only 1 point, and they've got Fulham actually.
There you go. Welcome to Alex. Hope you're well, Alex. Nice to see you, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, sorry, just the person of truth and entertainment just had to make himself known a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I know you, Cookie, have been trying to get me on for quite a while, and I'm only going to be here for 5 minutes because that's what I have to, 5 minutes to myself known, isn't it? But the point is, anyway, I actually am going to follow what Phil says. Don't get used to it, Phil. Because I've been saying this for quite a while. If you haven't heard me before, it's like I've been saying, and I'll say it slowly for the people that are slow in intake because they mix what I say. As I said before, I've never liked it since Poch. I've not liked it since Poch for a reason, right? Because I've not recognised the club. Now, it's not because Poch is the ultimate. No, he's not. But it's the identity of how we played, the way he made me, the players that we had, Harry Kane, Ali, Dele Alli, all these great players, good players that had the way we wanted to play, right? And I saw the vision. Now, that was later on in his reign because I didn't like him at the start, right? At the moment, going on to 5 years now, I don't understand who we are. I don't understand your identity. And people have been trying to tell me, just back the team. Well, the more and more I try and do that, and the more I can't do it because every single time I'm proven right because this is not what I want to see anymore. And the problem is now, is that it's got so bad now, right? I want people back. So when I say I want like a director of football, like a strategy back at my club, I've told people from the start, I never liked strategy, right? But when you've seen what I'm seeing at the moment with no identity, people have got no leadership up the top, no signings. No one's seen proactively to say that, oh, we need to do something right now because we've got nobody who can progress the ball right now. All we've got is athletes rather than people that can progress the ball, right? Which is why Javi Simmons, whenever he's trying to attack, right, he's got nobody to really help him. And I don't really rate Javi Simmons, don't think he's better than Kulusevski and Maddison for what they give us, right? Okay, so and then you get players like we've got Tell that people still think is really good, and I said, well, I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's even better than bloody Lamella.
Mommy's serving dinner.
I don't think he's better than Lamella. And look how much we've said that he was rubbish. I don't think he's better than Bergwijn. I don't even think he's better than Moira. And I was criticising Moira when he was at Tottenham. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. It's not a surprise by the stats, right? Because you can see the stats. I mean, what Savage said, right? The points per game's got worse, right? And it's ironic because Harry Kane, right? Even though I gave him criticism that he's a loser, he did score goals because at the end of the day, he was a goal scorer at will, right? Gareth Bale, right? Even though the second time around he should never come back, but there's a point, like. The quality of him, but both of them were accidents, and because of coaching, and because it was we were lucky because they would have been gone if it was down to the club. So, I mean, we're just a walking, talking accident as a team. You know what I mean? We most of the things that have been successful is by accident. It's not because of the design, not like Brighton that you're seeing at the moment. It's not like Brentford. What you're seeing at the moment. It's not like what you've seen with Aston Villa, who have been a bit unlucky, and Newcastle. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised by this. And this is why I don't give a monkeys if we get relegated. So I understand why he's still saying what he's saying. And it's like what people do, and I'll get to the last point because I'm kind of waffling on a little bit, yeah? And what people do is, it's like, why do you want people to get relegated? No, because we fell out of love with our club. And they're not doing nothing. The people you need to have a go at, and the people that people need to do what they need to do is start protesting against are the owners and these people that are in charge at the moment. So don't have a go at the fans that are only providing an opinion and providing an assessment of what we've seen and why we're feeling the way we're feeling. Don't have a go at us. It's not our fault. If you want us to do something about it, pay me to go into the club and do something about it. I bet they don't want me to do that because I think I'll make a mess out of a molehill. You know what I mean? All we're doing is assessing and saying, I'm sorry, this is only going one way. And the only way to do something, and this is why they changed the manager, because it went too bad that they had to only make the decision to get Tudor in. And look how what Semester is at the moment. So do anybody know what I'm talking about now? Do you understand what I'm talking about now?
Oh, yeah. We know what you're talking about. Anyone want to reply to Alex on his comments there? Is he spot on? What do you think, you lot? Hello, Mark, by the way. Hello, mate.
You got it, mate.
No, I think Alex is right a long way. When Maz says to him when they went to protest and Spurs fans were laughing at him as they walked past to get in the stadium. I've said that last night. I thought it was an absolute disgrace. This club that I've for 50 odd years, and my father and this, that, and other, just 6 miles down the road is an utter disarray, an utter shit show. You asked me 10, 20 years ago about Spurs being in this position, I'd have fallen around laughing. We're the butt of everybody's jokes. Even Arsenal fans are feeling sorry for us. This is what the club has become, an utter mess.
Mark, what I would always say, is a lot of the trophy argument became mundane for me because the trophy argument, is subjective. The managers were in the situation to get you to win the trophy. They got to the semi-finals, they got to the finals. But my issue with Enoch was always the player quality. The player quality deteriorated so badly. The last plan they had there was under Paul Mitchell. when Paul Mitchell was in charge in the beginning of Poch's reign, yeah,
Gotta go.
at least
See
he
you
had an idea and a plan. But we've
Cheers.
been winging it since Paul Mitchell left. From Steve Hitchin, who stayed for so many years, and he was failing, and you could see it visibly. He was failing on the football side. And then we had Paratici, and then we had Lang. Then we had the combination of both. And you're looking and thinking, at what point do you actually stop and just reset? Because so many different managers have taken over the club here, and so many players have been bought, and so many managers that now it's just a mismatch and a mess of so many different systems and styles of play. And this was, like I said before, yeah, this was always going to happen in the fact that Tottenham never addressed it. And for me, yeah, I always felt they needed a fire sale, get rid of a lot of players who have been hanging on need to go. And a lot of players that fans might like, yeah, have to go as well, because really truly they've been here for way too long and the rot has settled in. And you look at the likes of Romero, I'm glad to take £60 million for Romero. I've had enough of his antics over the years and the amount of excuses that I've heard for Romero. I'll take the money for Kulu. I'm not really a big fan of Kulusevski. And now he's injury prone. We don't even know if we can get any money for him. Maddison is the same now, because he's now got another long-term injury, and he was injury prone before he joined Tottenham Hotspurs. So there's a lot of players here that we're going to be struggling to get rid of. And there's a lot of players that really need to go and take a significant loss to getting them out as well.
Yeah, it's if we go down, people, do you think that the ultimate fire sale will come?
It's bound to, mate. First of all, big up everyone. Big up, chat.
Big up, Dave.
Evening, Mark. Evening, mate.
I thought I'd make a guest appearance on our channel. Seems you've been running the ship, mate.
And you've been at work all day, so there you go.
I've been at work.
There you go.
There you go. But like, there will be a fire sale because we can't afford the people on the wages, mate. There's a wage cap in the Championship.
Yeah, we're at 270 million at the moment or something, and I think the wage cap's about 115, 120 million, something like that.
Yeah, there you go. So it's either they're all going to have to accept wage cuts or there's going to be a fire sale. And I can see if the worst does happen and we go down, a lot of the kids are going to be promoted from the under 21s, the under 18s, whatever it is.
The loan players.
Yeah, loan players.
Out on loan.
Yeah, it's going to be like that, man. You know, but I just come in at the end of what Box Office was saying, and I completely agree. A few years ago, relegation would not even be considered, man.
Mark, are you all right for a minute? Can you carry on for a minute?
Man. Relegation would not even been considered with this club. Not even talked about. And now, because of the mismanagement, the penny pinching, and whatever else has gone on at boardroom level, look at the state we're in. This club has been regressing since Pochettino left. Last year was a warning when we finished 17th. All right, we won the Europa League, but in my opinion, that papered over the cracks. A lot of papering over the cracks. And this year, the chickens have come home to roost, unfortunately.
Yeah, but Sheriff, yeah, what I'm going to say now, yeah, is that Europa League, yeah, if you remember me, I was on the final, I was on Savage Show on the day of the final, and I said I didn't want Spurs to win the Europa League because I could see this coming from a mile off. These owners, yeah, would take the Europa League as a badge of honor, like a Blue Beater badge, and they'll say, well, we don't have to invest anymore because we've won the Europa League. So obviously our methods have been working all this time to win a trophy. Now, this is why I said I didn't want Spurs to go in the Champions League, because I knew as soon as Tottenham touched the Champions League here, they're not going to do what's necessary. And this has been, and the 17th place here will just be down to Ange Postecoglou and not the players themselves. So they just blamed it all on Ange and just kept the players in the club. And that for me was wrong. A lot of the players should have gone as well. But unfortunately, we didn't do that in the summer. No. And then in the summer, all it did was replace. We lost Son Heung-min, yeah, right? And Son, he had to go because, no disrespect to him, he was aging and he didn't have it anymore to be in the Premier League to do that. No. So he needed to go down a division, and that's why he's going to the MLS. But It's the replacement. Where was the contingency plan?
There is
and,
none.
and there is none, exactly. It's the same thing we had in the summer with Morgan Gibbs-White. How many weeks did we waste chasing Morgan Gibbs-White? How many weeks did we waste there chasing Eze when you knew Eze wanted to go to Arsenal? How many weeks? And look at the January window, yeah? Right, before the window started, Semenyo told Tobias he wasn't joining you. He was going to join to Man City. So essentially, we've wasted the whole of January chasing Semenyo when you knew Semenyo wasn't joining you in the first place. So what was the point in that? Where was the contingency planning for Semenyo? You
look at the participants in the Europa League final. Us and Man United.
I know.
You would have thought Man United had won the cup. Look what they did in the summer. £200 million on their front line. Where was that for us after guaranteeing Champions League money? Where was it? Never happened.
But Mark, they've got a fan base that are like on their owners though. They're on their owners. That's the thing. And I'm not having. This is not a fan base thing. It's just at the moment. It's just. I can only speak for myself, Mark. Yeah, right. And it's the reason why, like I said, and it's not because of Pochettino here. This is not a Pochettino wanting him to return, because if it's still the same, if we're still up by miraculous, because at the moment, I don't think it's going to happen at the moment, because we're only staying up because of West Ham and Nottingham Forest. And for me, if we get out of this because of West Ham and Nottingham Forest being rubbish like last season with the teams that went down last season, but I will get to the point that I was originally going to get to with Pochettino, but I just want to make this point. If we can't get past 40 points, for me, I've said in my video, Mr. Box Office TV, we deserve to go down, right? Because I'm sorry, this thing about, West Ham might get, no, I don't agree with this whatsoever. For me, if you want to stay up, you get as much points as you can, and for me, the threshold should be more than 40 points. If you get past 40 points, you go down. Okay, you can look at it more unlucky. 43 points, you're unlucky. But this whole thing of 30, for me personally, I don't feel sorry for my team if we go down if we don't get more than 40 points, and that's for any team for me, right? Because for me, that should be a standard. If we're going to start hyping up players like Tell and all these players, and that's it for me, that's it. But to get to the original point, right, it's not about Poch, right? I liked Harry Redknapp, right? I was a more happier fan then, to be honest with you, before Poch and everything else, right? I liked Martin Yole. I didn't mind Ramos, even though I wasn't with him too much, but I still didn't mind him because I still loved Tottenham, right? Okay, I didn't mind these men. I hated people having to go at our club. I absolutely hated it because we were one of the ugly ducklings, like when I was growing up. You know what I mean, right? And I'm not going to show my age too much. You know what I mean? But my point is though, is that I used to have this passion. You know what I mean? And I loved the players that we had. And even back then, we had like David Ginola. We had. What is it now? We had Robbie Keane, Defoe,
Berbatov,
Sheringham,
Canute, and these Zamora, right? We had Rebov, and I think we had some people in midfield, which I can't remember, Sherwood, all these players, and I'm looking at that time, and even then, there was better football, even though we were fighting for relegation in 1998 and 1999. There was better football then than what we're doing now.
They show hard, didn't they, Alex, back then?
Yeah, I remember a player like Stefan Freund, for instance. You know what I mean? But the moral of the story I'm trying to say is at the moment is that as I fell out, when I really didn't like this decision of sacking Poch, right? And again, it's not about Poch, because even if Poch comes back, it might make a difference, in my opinion, if we keep the way we're doing it, right? I felt that even though I didn't like that, because I didn't like the decision with Mourinho coming in, I tried to try and figure out a way of trying to get a positive thing out of it. But the more and more the time has gone on, I think we've gone less and less away from what we are as a club and what I recognise as why I like Tottenham in the first place, right? And
Yeah, I get that.
that's why now I think it's got so bad. I think it was because it was more to do with last season because of Ange. I think that the whole Ange thing, whether he won the trophy or not, it just grinded me so much that I'm keeping away from it. And I think if you sum it up by somebody that I talk to quite a lot, and I treasure his opinion very much as well, Hoover, he is completely done with the club.
Mhm.
He's completely done with the club. He's so done with it that he should speak for himself, but he would go and do down the AFC Wimbledon route, because that's how much I'm done with this Tottenham right now. You know what I mean? I'm absolutely done with this, you know? And that's why I understand why Stell's saying what he's saying at the moment, because that was the only way I think that things were going to actually happen. Because us losing games, I was actually thinking you might as well just lose games to Tottenham, because that's the only way we're going to make a decision on the manager, what we're going to do in the transfer window, because I don't think they thought we were going to be in relegation battle at the moment. And the way that Tudor's talking, and again, this is not having a go at Tudor, because I think, unfortunately, it's way too late for him at the moment. I don't think they recognise that we're in big trouble at the moment. You know what I mean? You know? And it's really sad. It's just really sad. And I don't care anymore now, guys. I really don't care anymore. Sorry, I'm waffling a lot. Maybe I'm ranting. Maybe I'm unleashing. I do apologise. But
well, Mr. Box Office, let me take you from here, yeah. What I'm going to say, is arrogance comes before a fall. And and these owners have been arrogant for years. And not just the owners, a lot of the fans have been arrogant for years as well. And I keep saying it in the chat, and it's the Nile is not a river in Egypt. You have to look at it properly, and look at it from every single angle, not just one, but all angles. I don't blame one specific department in the club, because all of them are failing to me. I look at it and I think if the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, and the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing, sooner or later you're going to get an impasse in there. And this is exactly what we had. This was inevitable. I keep saying this. It was inevitable, like the Terminator. It was inevitable it was going to happen at some stage. Right, because for years, right, we haven't had a ball-playing midfielder. Since Dembele left, we haven't had that engine in the middle of the park, and that conductor in the middle of the park. We haven't had that, and we haven't replaced it. And one of the biggest issues I had, was years ago when we didn't replace Christian Eriksen. If you remember under Conte, the argument was there was no creativity. And I said, there was no creativity because you didn't buy any creative players in the team. So, yes, we're going to lack creativity in there. And I didn't want Conte because I knew the club wouldn't back him properly. Because that window in the summer when we got fourth place, you could see they weren't going to give him what he needed to be successful. So there was no point Conte being there, which was always my issue from him from the start. And that's because I saw Mourinho come in. And when I see Mourinho not getting what he needed in terms of player quality, there was no point bringing Conte to the football club. And the way that we've got right now is the fans are paying too much to do a project. They don't have the patience, and they're paying too much money to do a project manager, right? And and the club itself is in no state to back a win now manager like a Mourinho or Conte. They don't have the facilities and they don't have the credibility to back a win now manager. So now that's come an impasse in managers anyway. And like I said, this is years and years of bad management, not just from the owners, but from the directors of football. Because, like I said, there hasn't been a plan since Mitchell, to the managers that come in, because the managers some of them are attacking, some of them defensive. And so you've got players from different styles of play, all merged into the team. And because we don't sell players, or we struggle selling players because we overcharge for the players that we're trying to sell, you're going to get this. And unfortunately for me, I've had to sit back and just watch all of it unfold. But like I said, this is like Jurassic Park. I kept saying it over the summer. This is going to blow up. This is going to blow up. You haven't bought a left winger. You haven't bought a ball-playing midfielder. Oh, well, we can't attack. Yeah, because you ain't got someone to conduct the flow of the game. Oh, we've got no left winger. Yeah, because you didn't buy a left winger. And so it's like, at some point, I look past the manager and say, it's deeper than any manager. It's deeper than any director of football. It is ingrained in the football club. Because like I said, how was Hitch allowed to stay for 4 years knowing he was failing at his job? How was Langes how is Lang still in the job after he's been failing this summer and this January window, and sat there in the window and said to everybody that he couldn't find anybody when there's a World Cup coming up in June and July? That is one incredible thing to say, when there's a World Cup year. That you
I
can't
think
find a player.
I think it's the identity. I think it comes back to the whole thing about the whole club is in a mess of it, and this is something that we have to look at in the end of the season now. And I've recognised that now is that I think it was said in Saba's thing with Sean about Ralph Rangnick, and Saba and me is saying the same thing really. Basically, you want to start decide what you want as an identity at the moment, and then who's going to conduct that, and that's a proper football director. So either you have a Ralph Rangnick or a Paul Mitchell or someone that is like a Parategy, for instance, not a Parategy because I think the ultimate what Parategy was all about is what we need, but he did get the identity of Tottenham Hotspur. I think you need somebody who gets Tottenham Hotspur, like a David Pleat or a someone like that. And then they have the say of what sort of coaches come into the football club. You know what I mean? You know, whether you're going to just have coaches like a system of Italian system with the director of football, you have coaches, or you have a director of football with the coach that they want to work with, and they do that for the whole 5 years or something like that. I don't know if that's going to actually happen, but you get my point. Yeah. Or you have just the manager, and you have to stick with him. Now, for me personally, I think you need a director of football as the ultimate, and then have coaches coming in who are similar, play similar, right? That's what I think you should be doing. You know what I mean? So, for example, if you've got Ralph Rangnick, you get someone that plays, what is it? What's it called football wise? Like Jurgen Klopp football, right? If you want that, something like that, yeah. So you get managers that can play that sort of football. So Nagelsmann would be the name that I'll be thinking about right now that could work with him. But you find other managers that play similar style. You know what I mean? Yeah. That if it doesn't work out, you can get that manager in. You know what I mean? Like what Brighton are doing at the moment. You see what I'm saying? Now, I know Brighton are not successful, but at least they've still got a plan of what happens if the manager's going. Because at the top, they know, they do their research, they know what sort of players they're going to get as well. You know what I mean? And with Tottenham, you don't see that. You see it with Brentford, with Keith Andrews. And you're telling me that Keith Andrews is a good manager? I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
The thing is, though, Alex, do you honestly think Paul Mitchell would return after he stated after he stated that his dream job was turned into a nightmare?
No, I'm just giving an example now, Mark.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know who's that guy going to be, but he has to be a strong individual that can manage a setup, knows how to set it up, like what Prodigy did with trying to do the structure. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a Frank Arneson. Remember Frank Arneson back in the day? And David Pleat. David Pleat knew how to set things up. You see what I'm saying? And this is the thing. I think this is where the disconnect is at the moment. You get what I'm saying? Because I think the problem is that Thomas Frank came in, which was ironically while Ange was still here before the final, and I don't think there was actually an actual plan of what The whole thing was when Ange came in, and we had the youth director that came in. I forgot his name now. The whole idea is that when Ange leaves, you get similar managers that come in to the club, right? Yeah. I think that was the plan. It's just completely Pete Tong again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was going to say the thing is though, whatever sporting director you get in, there's always going to be the roadblocks from Enid. Oh, you're not spending that. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. It's always the same. That's why Paul Mitchell said his dream job was turned into a nightmare.
That's why, Sheriff, yeah, that's why I say every department fails, Sheriff, because you don't know how much a director of football can actually do and how much license they have to buy the players that they actually want. And this is why I say, yeah, it comes from the top and it goes all the way.
He can do what he's allowed to do, Philly.
Right, and that was my issue. It's like how much of the stadium impact Paul Mitchell that he had to leave the job here to go and to leave a dream job here and turn into a nightmare. What happened backstage for him to do that? And it can only be that he was handicapped in the fact that he couldn't buy the players that he wanted to buy for Pochettino's team.
You look at all the rumours of the players we were going to get, but we got the little or the Aldi version of them players.
Well,
you know, it was like cost cutter versions, wasn't it?
Left a little, Sheriff. You know I work for little, but I come up here for it.
Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It was like the cheap equivalents. Instead of that top defender that we were after, we got Rodon.
Yeah,
you guys know if Spurs somehow survive this season, one of the very first transfers Spurs would try and get would be Jared Bowen from West Ham. Not saying he's a bad player, but West Ham go down because we buy players from teams that go down and get relegated. That's what Spurs do.
It's like the vultures, isn't it? The vultures.
My problem is with that is that you're poaching someone else's player because they've gone down. But what is the plan?
Yeah, exactly, Mr. Box Office. Exactly.
It's like, oh well, he's flavour of the month because he's gone down. What is the plan? This is the whole thing with Javi Simmons. Again, I called him the Dutch Pretty Ricky, just having a bit of a joke about it. Yeah, but when I watched him at RB Leipzig, he had Sesko up front holding up the ball, and he had I forgot his name. They went to Juventus making runs. Do you see that at Tottenham right now? No. You know what I mean? It's like the whole thing is like when you see Brighton get a player in, and the recent one, Bournemouth, with their new winger, why is he playing so well? Why is he hitting the ground running straight away? Maybe they've sat there and thought, okay, look at the players we've got. Let's look at this player. When he's playing for his original team, has he got the chess pieces that makes him tick? Oh, yes, it is. So now you're seeing him hit the ground running straight away. Somebody that's from Brazil. Brazil, that we didn't even know about. And we're saying, oh, I love that. I like that little player, Rian. I really do like a piece of that. Oh, yeah, I really like that, don't I? You know what I mean?
How much was he, Alex? Was he 20-odd million or something stupid?
Exactly. And we're talking about bloody Archie Gray and bloody Tell. Oh, please don't get me started. Honestly, don't get me started.
40 million for Archie Gray when Rayan cost 20 million. And that's exactly what you need on the left-hand side. And this is the problem, yeah? Right? It's not the fact that Spurs spend money. They hemorrhage money on the business front. They waste the money. They don't do their due diligence. They don't look into signings, what they need. And they just throw in a signing and they say, well, that's it. When you look at the window, and I said this to you at the time, Cookmeister, and I remember being on the 2 marks, I said that window was a 5 in the summer because you didn't buy what you actually needed. There was no progressor in the middle of the park, and there was no left winger option whatsoever. And they knew Son was leaving. And the worst thing is, even in the last year of Son, they should have bought a left winger anyway, so that Son would be able to pass that mantle on to the next person. But there was nothing. And for years, we heard that they had a contingency plan for Harry Kane and Son's exit. So they lied. Blatantly, they lied to the fans. So there was no need for it, because had the club been honest to the fans here, the fans could accept that and say, well, we know where we are and move on. But it's the lies that hurt, brother, because it's like they treat you like a fool, brother. It's like, oh, you can't read between the lines. Nah, I can read between the lines. I just can't be bothered. That's the difference.
And it's such a crying shame when it comes to that, Phil, isn't it, that we feel like that now. Now, why Box Office is on here? Excuse me.
Yeah, because my voice is going to get really bad. So, everybody, smash the likes, subscribe, and hype Mr. Box Office, the 2 marks, and big up Mark Taylor and the lovely Kate Rickman.
And also subscribe to Philly Show. Subscribe to Philly Show.
Get over to Phil at BMGT, yeah, and smash him a sub over there. Obviously
whack his
to
link
Alex
in the
as well.
chat, mate.
Alex, I wanted to ask you why you're on. We've spoken about protests, right? And you know, I've been one of those ones, and I'll hold my hands up for especially the last few weeks. For me, I think this is as good a time to get to ENIC as it could be now. They've welled themselves into a corner. Yeah, they've got nowhere to go now. Now, I said about sort of maybe doing something at one of the home games that's coming up, and then someone said to me, and I can't remember who it was, Alex, for the life of me. Someone said to me, "That's all good, but why don't you wait until sort of towards the end of the season, the last home game, something like that, and then maybe have a crack at it?" I wonder what your thoughts on it. Hello, Eugene. And do you think it could work? And how do we galvanise, Alex, the people to go? You know, if you're gonna do something like this now, you know, and you tell everyone yourself, mate. You've been to them yourself. 100 people, 200 people, it's not going to cut it, unfortunately. We need to get a few thousand people down there at a protest, for me, at the last game of the season. That's where I'm at with it. Now, what are your thoughts on it, Alex? Does it work? Is it worth it? Where do we go with it?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to. I don't think people are as passionate about it anymore. To be honest with you, from what I've seen from the numbers, and being there myself, I just don't think people have got the. I don't think people are as passionate as much as what people I see online are passionate at the moment, and yeah, I just don't think it is at the moment for me. There's not really much I can say on that at the moment for me. I think mostly, I think it's been really kind of showing last year when there was a little bit more numbers for the protests. It was more to do with the manager than the ownership for me. So that's why there's not really much I can say, Mark. I do think there are. I do stick by this, and I'm not including not everybody here, but I do think this is one of the worst deluded fan bases in the Premier League by none. I do think it is, because I do think some people do not realise how bad it is at the moment, and they still don't. You know what I mean? And I get people having a go at me about certain players and all that, and you know, I do think people are just going there because they just want to meet their friends, which is fair enough. I'm not having a go at it. But if we're just gonna let it happen, nothing will change. I don't know how you're gonna. I don't know. Maybe if you did a Man United sort of style, or Arsenal sort of style, Chelsea sort of style protest, it would be more effective, maybe. But I don't think the fan base have got that sort of energy for it. You know what I mean? Because we've seen the last how many times now when we've tried to do this, and it's not happened. And I think this is one of the worst times of being a Tottenham fan at the moment. I'm so zoned out by it right now, because I feel like I love my club now, more than my club now.
I'll be honest, Alex. I'm done with it. I was over the pub yesterday afternoon and I watched the second half. I left my house in the first half. I got in there probably 5-10 minutes into it. I watched a bit of it. I just done with it. It's not the team that I grew up loving and supporting. Yeah, I'm just done with it now.
I didn't even watch the first half because I was doing something else. So it's got to that point now where, and the thing is,
Alex, were you on a date?
Pardon? No.
You're doing something else. I've been waiting for you to, Alex. How long have we known each other, right? How long? I'm gonna do a Mr. Box Office now. I'm gonna do a bloody Mr. Box Office now. You know why? I'm bored, right? I'm so bored because I'm hearing the same things about this for the past 4 years, and it's coming back now again. It's gone back on repeat. Sheriff, Mark Cousins, right? How long have we known each other? 5 years, right? Cookie,
Quite a long time,
is
Eugene.
one of the new edition. Cookie, we've been saying this for so long, right? It's the fans. We don't protest. It's just rinse and repeat. If we really want change, right, then we should show up. But the problem is that we don't show up. The last protest, right, that CFT did broke my heart because you all should know, right? I'm the only idiot that actually do protest alongs. I do live protests with people there showing the protest. Remember, I've been doing it for 4 years, right? And the thing is that at least when Stell and Daigle and Graham and Ryan, right, and the rest of the guys who, I mean, Alex was there, I think Mark went for one of the previous ones before CFT, right? At least someone showed up. Even there was 2 people there, there'll be someone who showed up. That CFT protest broke my heart. You know why? Harry, Asper TV was there, TJ, Into Spurs, they were there. We were doing the live protest along, and there was no protest.
That's very disappointing, Eugene.
I was there, Eugene.
The worst thing, right?
I was there.
I know. But the problem is that nobody organized and tried to group that few people that were there. Were they ashamed? Right? If you're ashamed of what you're trying to do, then don't do it. Right? Stop it. End it. Now we're telling people to send emails. Bro, Brian Daigle has been sending emails to Daniel Levy for how many years? We all know that, right? From the beginning. Right? Yes. Alex, what you say is true. Most probably last season, the people came up for the protest, right? Was because of Ange, right? They couldn't take the games. But the other thing is that I will say this, right? Our fan base deserve this. Why? Because we can't even celebrate or actually, right, not diminish the trophy we won, right? We are deluded, right? Our pride is deluded. We don't understand how to be proud of something. Actually, this season, right, we should take this trophy and rub it into people's face. Especially we are YouTubers, right? We do content, right, for the banter and all that. But nah, all we talk about is, and to tell the truth, why the players are like this? Because, right, no matter how much you hate Ange, right? I was one of, I used to do a lot of watch-alongs with Ange. Remember last season? I was shouting at him, I was cussing him and all that, right? But I did say one thing. If he won that trophy, he should have been given a chance, right, to carry on. Because he built something there. He built a trust. He built the mentality. But nah, you sack him, you break the hearts of the players. Now we're seeing players who are broken-hearted. That's why they don't show up, right? And the worst part is, you brought in Frank. Frank wasn't a motivator, right? He was a deflator, defeatist, thinking about losing all the time. When you had a manager like Ange who thinks about winning no matter what, right? Even I understand, right? During the what game? The Man City game, right? He had to go at the fans because we wanted to lose, so Arsenal won't win the league and blah blah blah, right? So it's the fans. If our fans want to have a standard, guys. When Levy said we got our Tottenham back, I went on a rant. I say I don't want this Tottenham because this Tottenham hasn't won shit. Hasn't won the league in 64 years. Oh, sorry, that time was 63 years, right? When I went on my rant, right? Why do we want this Tottenham back? And to tell the truth, right? And go further back, right? I think after Conte got sacked, I said burn it all down, right? Burn it all down. And now we're seeing it. Metaphorically, it's getting burnt down, right? Because we're getting relegated, guys. Right? If this goes on, we're getting relegated. But for Tudor, I pity him. He shouldn't have taken his job. You know why? He is in the same scenario when Ange went to Nottingham Forest. This job didn't suit him, right? If he had to come into this job, right, he should have taken it in November, December. At least he would have had a chance with the January transfer window to get some players in, demand something from the board. Nah, you come in now. Anyone who takes this job now, right, is going to die because our players are heartbroken. They ain't going to turn up for the club, right? They already showed us the finger. You understand? And we don't discipline them, right? Our whole club, we are pussies. You get what I'm saying? We're pussies. You know why? When Romero came out and called out the board, he should be fucking suspended straight away. But he just deducted. Nah, let's let him play. When Bissouma, tardiness, Frank said, nah, I'm not using him. Oh, yeah, too bad. Not enough players. Bring him back. So where's our standards, guys? We got no standards. Our fan base doesn't have a standard to be up there. We are always thinking about second place, trying to get to the final. Nah, I don't want that mentality anymore. I want to win something. And I've been saying for so long, right? And last season, when I was going on to DR Sports calling shows and all that, I told them, right? Relegate us, right? Then the fans will wake up. And of course, that time ends was shit, right? And where are we now, right? We are moaning again, right? We are groaning again. We are saying the players are shit, managers are shit, right? Everything's shit, right? Put it down. And you know why? Why we look like shit, right? Because we have a toilet bowl, right? That fucking, sorry, my man. That stadium looks like a toilet bowl, right? And please don't call that stadium the White Hart Lane Stadium because White Hart Lane had a heart. This stadium doesn't have one.
Well said, that man.
Yeah.
Sorry, but well said, that
Please
man.
don't ever call that stadium White Hart Lane, guys. Right? Respect White Hart Lane because if you call that stadium White Hart Lane, you're frigging. How you call that?
Eugene. See that picture there, Eugene?
Yeah.
That's White Hart Lane.
That is our stadium. Right?
That's our
Not
stadium.
that con job of a stadium that we have now. I understand it's beautiful and blah blah blah, right? To tell the truth, I can't even afford to go there at the moment.
Listen, it is what it is. The stadium's here now, Eugene. You know, everything's changed. Like you say, it ain't football no more. It's entertainment. Do you know what I mean? And I think you're spot on, Eugene, in everything you've just said. I can't disagree with any of it, to be fair, man. And I know you guys have been on this wagon for long before, you know, I came along. Listen, I don't know what else we've got. This is the thing, you see. I keep saying to everyone, I've got things going round in my head with the club all the time, whether I should be that invested in it or not. In my head, yeah, I'm just a Tottenham fan, like you are, like box offices, like Mark is, and I just want the best for our club, you know. And I just see us going down this rocky road now of someone just put in there. We're just going down and down and down with Enoch. And how far do you go down until someone does something about it?
The thing is, mate, last year was warning.
Yeah.
And you would have, but you notice now we are in this position. What's the first thing they announced? 200 million war chest for the summer, 150 million for the war chest. You know, they talk the talk, but they never walk the walk.
That's
ever.
True. That's true.
Ever.
Sure. The
Words
war chest has been. Yeah, the war chest has,
anyone can spout any open nonsense.
No, the war chest has always been there, right?
Yeah.
Every season we have a war chest, right? Nearly every season we have a war chest. And sometimes we use it, sometimes we don't. Remember, they were supposed to pump in 150 million pounds. Oh, sorry, was it 150 million pounds? But in the end, we only drew down 100 million pounds and all that to buy players.
There's another 50 million quid knocking about someone.
And the money, and in the end, some of the money went to other projects, and some of the money only went to the players. The thing is that, right, guys, after Levy has gone, right, now we see, right, the hose being unplugged. You get what I'm saying? Right? And the ship is slowly sinking. You get what I'm saying? And the worst part is, before Levy left, he brought in a gooner, right, to help us run the club. What the hell was he thinking about? It was bad enough we brought in Lange, right? And then bad enough having 2 DOFs. Bro, you know, people have egos, right? And they're saying they might start doing the 2 DOF things again. What the hell's wrong with these people?
That's why I've got no belief in what's happening at the moment, and this is why I say that. I think this is why I see what's still saying in terms of because I think it might force people to. But again, this is just opinion now, isn't it? Because at the moment, it's like I don't see anything happening if we're staying up anyway. If we're going to go down that route. If I don't know the identity and what the plan is, I don't know where we're going to go with this. If you don't have a proper director of football that's doing everything else, doing the whole setup, I don't know where we're going to go at all. And if we don't make a decision, like I said before, I do apologise to the people that have heard me say this again, is that if you don't have an ultimate director of football or ultimate manager, or both, or have a director of football that's the ultimate, and having loads of coaches coming through who are playing the same way, I don't know where we're going to go with this. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I've seen this before. It will happen again, and it's hence why I'm going to be off going to gym, because that's what I do every single day after work. After whatever I do during the day, because Mr. Box Office doesn't tell where well. This is my job, really, Mr. Box Office.
Mr. Box Office needs a day, right?
Alex is whatever Alex does is not everyone's goddamn business. But you know what I mean. But that's another time. You know what I mean. You know,
Alex, you know what, right? To tell the truth, right? To put it in a certain sense, right? I don't want Spurs to get relegated as a fan. No matter what happened to Spurs now, I will still love it. It's Tottenham Hotspur. It's in my heart. Even though if they're going to get relegated, play in the Championship, I will love it, right? It's in my heart, right? But the thing is now, right, being so fed up about it, right? It's not that I want Spurs to get relegated. I think Spurs needs to get relegated. Number one, right? It will wipe that arrogant kind of smug that we have, the thing that we will never go down, right? And that will actually scare us a bit. Yes,
this is why this is your opinion, isn't it? It's your opinion, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It's my opinion. Yeah, everyone's got their own opinion. How you want to see it? You can say, I don't want Spurs to go down, to tell the truth, but maybe it needs to, right? Maybe it needs to, right? Yeah. Who's Alex Davis?
That's nobody. Daddy's talking absolute waffle, like he did yesterday on Field Show. It's all absolute waffle. You know what I mean?
Boy, come on, right?
Absolute waffle. Absolute waffle.
He loves a wind up.
He does like a wind up, doesn't he? I love him. I love him though. He's the most deluded Spurs fan, but we do love him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's why you guys must learn what I've learned. Being Spurs fan for so many years, yeah, like Cookie and Sheriff here, right? 40 over years Spurs fan. I become zen about it, right? Because I know this shit. I know our owners are shit, right? The only thing is that we always have hoping they will wake up. But one thing I would say is like this, right? At least the protest last season got rid of one thing. That's Daniel Levy, right? That's one positive. He's gone, right? That's how I see it, right? Now, let's sit back and let's see whether ENIC would put the money on the table like they said they would, right? But
Eugene, I've got to be honest with you, mate. I'm waiting to be married soon, mate. I can't wait. I can't wait any longer. I can't really wait any longer to hear promises from Tottenham. I'm too old. I'm too old and ugly to hear it anymore. No disrespect to you. I'll let you finish. Because I've got to go to gym, and that's not on the back of you speaking, mate. Don't worry.
All right.
I was always thinking. Unfortunately, the body needs to get refreshed again. Yeah, I mean, hard work.
When's the wedding day?
No, but I'm only joking because at the end of the day, that's all I've got is jokes in it. You know what I mean? Because I ain't enjoying the Tottenham minute. You know what I mean? Big up to the two Marks, by the way. Should be subscribed to the channel, by the way. Needs to 1,000 subscribers, and you should be getting it. Should get it down right now. You know what I mean? Because they allow me on the show. You know what I mean?
Listen, and make sure. I think Alex is going to the gym now, so get over to Mr. Box Office TV.
Yeah,
get subscribed to him.
Is in the chat somewhere.
Videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
And get subscribed to Alex. And the same to Eugene as well,
Yeah.
over on his channel.
Yeah, Eugene.
Get over there.
His link's in the channel as well somewhere. It might be a bit of a way
Thanks,
back.
guys. Thanks for the shout out, right?
Yeah,
Thanks for the shout out.
The links. And I'll tell you what, before you go, Alex, as well, right? Just before you two go, there's fraudulent activity going on in the chat tonight because there's been 80 odd people in here. 40 likes. What's that all about?
Hey, guys. You obviously came over
it's a
to do
50
something.
minimum, guys. 50 minimum.
Yeah.
You know it is.
What's going on here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like you've got your money's worth with Mr. Box Office, the main event, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment, the ratings killer. Yeah. The people's champion and everyone's guilty pleasure. And if people don't like it, they should know like it, and that's it. You know what I mean? So you should be liking the show, the 2 March show. You know what I mean? Yeah, because the 2 March show is all about it. You know what I mean? You know? And that's all I've got to say. You know, if you don't know, you should have got to know already the 2 March show and Mr. Box Office TV and Eugene, and that's it. And I'm out of here. Take care of yourselves. And also, do what Cuba says. Turn off you Spurs and enjoy your life. That's it. Take care of yourselves. And I'm out of here.
Bye, mate.
Take care. Bye-bye.
See you soon, man.
I messaged Cuba not so long ago. Yeah, and he's fed up, to say the least. I'm not going to say the word I was going to say, but he's fed up, Mr. Cuba. Big up, Coos, if you're watching.
Sheriff, all of us are fed up, right?
Yeah.
We've been through this. We've seen it. It's happening again. But the only thing is that we've gone to a juncture, right, where we might fall off the cliff, you see. So that is actually stirring up a lot of, how we say, right? Yeah, Spurs have been fined, 30,000 euros, suspend a match, right, from selling tickets to away fans. So, teams, right? Okay, all right.
That last comment, this comment, that was on Sky Sports when I walked in the door this afternoon.
Yeah.
I put Sky Sports News on.
Yeah, it was to do with the Frankfurt game, apparently. Some, like it says on there, racist and discriminatory behaviour.
I'm not saying what happened.
No, the club have already come out and said they're not having it. You know, So
there was three fans. There was 3 fans that have been identified.
Yeah.
And given banning orders.
All right.
There you go.
It is what it is.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. It is what it is, lads. It is what it is at the end of the day. Look, we'll wind it up, chaps. We'll wind it up tonight. I'm going to have a night of no YouTube, I think, tonight. I'm just going to have a break from it.
You've been running the channel, boss.
Go and chill, have a cup of tea and a bit of something to eat. And listen, it is what it is. Eugene, thanks for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Short and sweet tonight. I've no doubt we'll do a longer show later in the week. Sheriff, as always, big up to you. Big up to everyone who's been on. Who's been on? Mark Taylor's been on. I can never remember who's been on. Box Office.
Alex. Who was the other one?
Press.
Philly.
Yeah. Phil was on. Sorry.
As well.
Yeah.
When I turned up.
I got the mind of a sieve, so I apologise for everyone. Listen, look, get over to Eugene's, get over there and sub to him over there at Spazarian. We're on tomorrow morning, and I don't know if we're both on. It might just be me, but
it will be you, mate. I got work.
There you go. 9:30 breakfast brunch tomorrow morning. Be there, as they say, or be square. Hit the like button, please. Still not at 50 likes, but we're going now. Anyway, so big up to everyone. Big up to everyone in the chat. Much love to everyone. Mark's going to hit the button so we don't both hit it at the same time. And see you in the morning, 9:30. Big up to you all. See you all soon. Take care.